know.
How about Friday the 13th?
A lot of people are very superstitious about that day. You know, people think that it causes bad luck. So that's something that's socially ingrained into the population, that Friday the 13th is a bad luck day. You know, and walking under a ladder, I mean, that's a very popular superstitious belief.
How about the cracks in the sidewalk?
Don't step on a crack?
Yeah.
Break your mother's back? I don't even know how that one got started, but it sounds ridiculous.
You're welcome to email us at our, on that, if you have an answer to that one.
Yeah, I'm sure you could probably find it on the internet. How about opening an umbrella while you're indoors? It's going to bring you bad luck. I mean, how many times have you heard that one? No, don't open that umbrella. I'll have bad luck. You know, it's like, okay, we just normally accept those things as truth without really giving much thought to where it came from or why we believe that. So, you know, those are just...
Or hanging a horseshoe over a door. Some people hang it upside down, but if you do that, the luck's going to run out. You're going to hang it so it's up.
So the points are up?
Points are up, so it holds the luck in.
That's the common belief, yeah. So, and one other common one is, you know, if a black cat crosses your path, you're going to bring bad luck.
Oh, yeah, good old black cat.
Because black cat's a bad name, and actually there's probably nothing wrong with the black cat. I'm sure that has a history of where that came from. I think it has something to do with witchcraft. But,
you know, witch always had the black cat.
I think that's where it originated from. I don't want to say for sure, but I think I remember something.
Well, at least Hollywood wants us to believe it.
Yeah. And, you know, another common one is, you know, cover your mouth when you sneeze, or I've heard this one recently, that when you sneeze, your soul will go out. That's why you cover your mouth when you sneeze, to keep your soul inside your body.
Don't cover your mouth when you sneeze, you're going to lose your soul.
Well, that's a very superstitious belief. But some believe that.
That goes pretty deep.
You know, so we just kind of accept these things as truth, and even though there's no rational explanation for any of them. And that's what superstitious beliefs are all about.
Social psychology perspectives for supernatural beliefs is what we're going to discuss next. A social psychology perspective finds value for maintaining both supernatural and scientific beliefs as a measure of control and discipline within a society.
So from a social perspective, there are advantages in encouraging supernatural beliefs to hold some truth as a means of instilling discipline within a society.
You mean like invisible beings coming down? You know, such as folklore may have it?
Yeah, that's a popular method that's been used throughout history to control a society. It keeps people in line with their morals and their laws, and you know, they build their communities around these type of superstitions.
Another one would be like pleasing the dead ancestors. If you don't do this, the ancestors are going to be angry.
And your crops might not grow, or you might experience some type of drought, or you might experience an illness. So they definitely use dead ancestors to instill discipline and proper behavior.
A lot of indigenous did that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
very popular, yeah.
It's very popular.
And look at us in our modern cultures. We have Santa Claus, and that encourages children to be good all year, or they're not going to get any presents on Christmas Day. You know, right around Christmas time, that tends to have a little bit more weight, but... You know.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sure that one's used a lot, right around December, to get your kids to behave. But, I mean, look how powerful that one is.
Be good, or Santa's not going to bring you anything. You might find coal in your stocking.
Yeah, that's definitely used for control. You know, fear tactics. Look at...
the boogeyman!
Yeah, the boogeyman. I mean, you know, when I was a kid growing up, I was told you can't go out at night or the boogeyman will get you. You know, so that keeps the kids in the house at night, and it keeps them from doing deviant things. And there's also an evolutionary benefit to keeping these supernatural beliefs passed on throughout the generations, because it maintains these societies' level of controls. Perhaps that's one reason why it might be more, why it's more of a complex process to falsify an idea than it is to create an idea as truth.
Well, it's almost like some of these situations, it's almost like you're worshiping these things. I mean, I use the term worship. Anybody can worship Santa Claus, you know, worship an idol, you know.
Well, and technically, worship of a god is a superstitious belief.
Yes.
But we're not getting into religion today because
No.
that's a whole topic in itself. So.
We'll leave that topic alone for another time.
But that is considered a superstitious belief, you know, whatever God you choose to believe in. So, you know, when you look at the evolutionary perspective, are humans genetically predisposed to cognitively accept these ideas as truth for the survival and the socialization benefits that it offers the human species?
So are you saying, for our listening audience's purpose, are our brains hardwired for these belief systems to occur?
That's the general consensus, yeah. That's why we're so accepting of them. That, you know, so an additional social benefit to the Spinozian theory is, of course, the ability to accept information as truth. And as we discussed earlier, we're going to get a little more into it now, that's vital for the advertising industry. They want the consumers to believe everything they say in their advertising.
They're Spinozian all the way.
They use that theory a lot. Yeah, that's been researched a lot in advertising. You know, advertising media counts on a very quick acceptance of information as truth, and that encourages consumers to make purchasing decisions. You know, they're trying to convince you that their product is best, and they're giving you all these reasons why you should buy it, and they want you to buy into that very quickly. The entertainment industry also relies on what we call the willful suspension of beliefs. And they do that to encourage participation in viewing things like situational dramas, participating in fantasy roles, which are very common in video games. The individual, you know, you may hold a belief that dragons don't actually exist, but you're willing to temporarily suspend that belief to enjoy a fantasy character in a video game.
Good old dragon slaying, yeah.
Yeah, so while you're playing that game, you're under the belief that, hey, dragons are real, at least in that situation. So, you know, the entertainment industry uses that a lot, especially the belief in ghosts. There's many people who are still kind of skeptical about ghosts, some that are starting to believe it more. But we all love to have a good scare, whether we believe in ghosts or not. I mean, horror movies are very popular. So, so we're tending to suspend our disbelief of ghosts to enjoy a good ghost movie, you know? Well, too, and I think another reason science is starting to get more on board with metaphysics is because it is still very popular.
It's becoming more popular all the time,
and
too.
it probably won't go away. So they're getting on board with researching more things that are in the metaphysical realm.
Well,
so science can give these people an explanation that they can put into their belief system.
yeah, quantum science, I believe, is where is the most advancements have. As far as your Newtonian science, that probably hasn't made any. It really hasn't made any progress in the last 50 years or so. But people are more interested in quantum mechanics, quantum science. So that's where science is going now, trying to understand what they think is there, but really can't prove is there.
They're becoming more open-minded about it, and and that'll flow into our evolutionary process too, as we do become more, science does become more open-minded and starts researching quantum physics and metaphysical things, that you'll see some changes take place. So it's a long process of evolution to weed out some of these supernatural, superstitious beliefs. So that's why they've stuck around all these years. So,
well, as you said, they're so deeply ingrained in us. It's going to take many generations for them to even think about dissipating.
Unless it suddenly becomes no longer necessary that we believe that particular thing. So
True.
that pretty much wraps up our discussion about the belief systems. Just wanted to let the audience know this is the last show of our season 2, and we're going to be starting a whole new series of shows in September of 2010. And we look forward to creating a new season with some new topics and maybe some guests next season. And
Definitely going to have some guests.
yeah, we're already working on some things that
It's not going to be like season 1. The guests are going to be selective, but yet we're going to have some fun with them. It's just different perspectives. All we're doing here is information.
And one of the things that we're going to start season 3 off with is there's a lot of talk about how there's a shift of consciousness taking place. So we want to speak to some of the people in our local area to find out how they're experiencing the shift of consciousness and how maybe it's affected their lives and we're going to go from there. So
again, thank you. On behalf of myself and Kathy, season 2 has been a real hoot.
We had a lot of fun doing it. We went through some growing pains. We learned how to use a lot of
the equipment here.
The equipment at the studio here at
TVC TV
in Boise, and we want to thank them for all their help in educating us and teaching us how to run cameras, and hopefully next year we can use some of that classes that we've taken there and get out into the community and do some remote shoots. So that's what we're looking forward to for next season.
So, without any further ado, thank you. And hope to see you next year, or at least this fall. Our archives are still available on the website, soul2soultv.com. And so, in case you miss us too badly,
you can always see us 24/7 on the internet. So thanks a lot for watching season 2, and we look forward to being with you next season.
blessings.